So Easter 1916, written by W.B. Yeats. And as I was speaking at the initial stage, that this poem was written in 1916 and based on a revolt done by the Irish nationalists against the British government. And we also know that the UK is consisted of four countries: Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales. And at that time, when W.B. Yeats had been writing this poem, they thought that the Ireland people had been oppressed by the British government. So they had a desire, that means the Ireland's nationalist party or the Ireland's people had a desire to get themselves free from the tyrannic rule of British government. So many plots have been initiating. Many initiatives had been taken by the Ireland citizen, but the notable initiative was taken in 1916 and in the month of April, and it was the start time when uh, the Christian people believe that it is a time of resurrection. And in for the basis of this rebellious movement, W.B. Yeats has written this poem, Easter 1916. So it's a quite long poem. I will try to read the line quickly and try to make the line clear for you. So I have met them at close of the day, coming with the vivid faces from counter or decks among gray 18th century houses. Okay, so the I means the speaker, W.B. Yeats said that I have met them at the ending, that means that in the afternoon of a day, and they are coming from a uh, 18th century houses that indicates that um, uh, they are coming out of their house. I have passed with a note of the head of polite meaningless words, or have lingered a while and said polite meaningless word and thought before I had done of a mocking tale or jibe to please a companion around the fire at the club, being certain they and I but lived where motley is on, all changed utterly, terrible beauty is born. So the WPS started the poem that he has met with the person who were involved in this rebellious movement, and he was trying. WB Yeats was trying to have communication with them with a less cognizable word. I have passed them with a nod of the head and applied meaningless word. WB Yeats was trying to make communication with the persons who were in that moment, and either he had waited a while to have communication with that person, uh, and I had done of a mocking tale or jibe to please a companion around the fire of the club. So, and but lived where motley is on, all changed and changed utterly, and a terrible beauty is born. So we have learned a little bit that to fight against a very established army, a British army, it's not so easy. So the rebellious person, they fought against the British army, they were defeated, and within a very short time, 450 people were killed by the British army, and the leaders were uh, shoot at firing squad. Okay, so what was the result they gained? The result that is um, that indicated by W.B. Yeats, that is all changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. So what was the situation? That is, England had been ruling Ireland. The Ireland people revolt against uh, against the very unified British soldiers, that means the army, and they were defeated. And so what was the result? WBS indicates a little bit, that is all changed. So everything was changed and changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born, and a beauty is born, and WBS says that it is a terrible beauty. So what is changed? What is what has been changed? He will be, WBS will be describing, or will be telling the meaning of the changed situation of Ireland. What is the result? That Women's Day were spent. Among the revolutionists, one of them was a woman. And about the women, WBX didn't mention the name of this woman. In ignorant goodwill, her nights in argument until her voice grew shrill. What voice more sweet than hers? When young and beautiful, she wrote to Harriers. This man had kept a school. So up to this, WBS had talked about a woman who took part in the rebellious movement. Her name has not been told. Okay. So her voice was sweet before joining this movement. But after joining this movement, this woman's voice became shrill. Her voice grew shrill. And but before that moment, her voice was sweet, and she wrote to Harriers. So this is an indication that among the revolutionary um, revolutionary people, one of them, the leader, one of the leader was a woman. WPS has talked about that woman. Another man, this man had kept a school. Uh, this man was also a leader. At the last portion of this poem, the WBS is going to tell the name of this leader. So this man had kept a school and rode our winged horse. Winged horse indicates the literature and art, naturally indicates. And this other, his helper, friend, was coming into his force. He might have won fame in the end. So sensitive his nature seemed, so daring and the sweet his thought. This man, okay. So this is another person he talked about. So this man had a school. So and he had been teaching literature and art over there in that school. So if this person wouldn't involve in that rebellious movement, he might have earned fame in literature and art, but he didn't do so. He involved in this rebellious movement. Uh, this other man. So first one women, second one a person who had a school, and the third one the other man I had dreamed, a darkened, a vainglorious load. He had done most bitter wrong to some who are near my heart. So the third person is a man. W.B. Yeats has said that he is a Duncan and also a very proud person. He is that, and he is not in a good person. And W.B. Yeats has also said that this person, that means the third person, has done something wrong to somebody else, and one of them is poet's very close one to some who are near my head. Yet I numbered him in the song. In the song, he too has resigned his part in the casual comedy. He too has been changed in his turn, transformed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. So after the first stanza, we see this famous line, all changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born. After the second stanza, um, uh, we also see the repetition of the same line, the terrible beauty is born. So a beauty cannot be terrible, but he has W.B. Yeats has put this word, a terrible beauty is born. So we have been told about three persons, one woman, another man, and another man. So another soldier, another teacher, and another person. They were involved in this rebellious movement. So a terrible beauty is born. So hearts with one purpose alone, through summer and winter seem enchanted to a stone, to terrible the living stream, the horse that comes from the road, the rider, the birds, and the wrench from cloud to trembling cloud. Minute by minute, the change. Actually, in this world, everything changes very frequently for the flow of time. We see, and even summer and winter come by turns, and for the cause of several changing weather scenarios, everything of this world changes. But hearts with one purpose alone, through summer, winter seem enchanted to a stone, to travel the living stream. Naturally, if a person has a desire, and that desire, if that desire becomes confirmed, then that cannot be changed. So here, W.B. Yeats has put some analogy that for the cause of summer and winter, everything in this environment might might change. So the horse that comes from the road, so that horse that comes from the road might change. The rider who will be on the horseback, he might gonna change. The birds and the range from the cloud to trembling cloud, minute by minute they change. So we see the horse, the rider, the birds, and also the cloud, they changes every time, minute by minute they can change. A shadow of cloud on the stream, changing minute by minute. A horse hoof slides on the brim. A horse, yeah, plashes within it. The long-legged moor hens drive. Okay. Again, he also talked about the moor hens, and the hens to moorcocks call, minute by minute they leave. The stone in the midst of all. Okay, but uh, the moor hens changes, the moor cocks change minute by minute, horse change, rider change, everything change. But the stanza starts with the first line: the hearts with one purpose alone cannot be changed for several. So if someone's desire or somewhere mental idea is as confirmed as the stone, that cannot be changed. But the other things of nature may change quickly, minute by minute. But the stone desire, that means the heart's desire, that can be compared with stone that cannot be changed. So this is the third stanza. Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. Okay, so how a heart can be compared with a stone heart? Okay, that is, for too long a sacrifice can make a stone of heart. Oh, when may it suffice? And when such kind of stone heart will be satisfied? That is heaven's part. Our part to murmur name upon name, as mother names her child. When sleep at last has come, one limbs that had run wild, that is it but nightfall? No, 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 not night, but death. Was it needless death after all? For England may keep faith, for all that is done and said. We know their dream, enough to know they dreamed and are dead. So who dreamed? Naturally, the Ireland people dreamed to got independence from the tyrannic rule of Britain. They dreamed but are dead because next time they were killed by the British military power. And they dreamed and dead. And what if excess of love bewildered them till they died? I write it out in a verse. So based on the sacrifice done by these Irish people, W.B. Yeats said that I write them in this verse. So the person's name was MacDonagh, another person, McBride, another one, uh, Kona, Konali, okay, and also the Pierce. So four, yes.
স্যার অন্যদের কি অবস্থা জানি না, কিন্তু আমি না কথা অনেক আস্তে শুনতেছি, মানে আমার একটু সমস্যা হচ্ছে কথাগুলো শুনতে। স্যার একটু যদি জোরে বলতেন।
Okay.
আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Okay, that this fourth person, that is MacDonagh, McBride, Connolly, and Pierce. W.B. Yeats has mentioned the name of this fourth person who involved in this movement, rebellious movement. Okay, and W.B. Yeats said that I am writing the name of this person in this verse. That means in this poem. Who are the person? That is the MacDonagh, McBride, Connolly, and the Pierce. Now and in time to be. So the people who fought against England, the Ireland people, among them 4 were killed in the firing squad, and the last portion, all are changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. So this you see that changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born. That is the most important line of this poem, and we see the repetition of this line, that is changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born. So from the very initial stage, we see that this poem, that means the Ireland people, had initiated a rebellious movement against the British government, and that was done in 1916 in the month of April. And against the British army, the number of the Ireland's revolutionaries members are less. Nearly 1,800 people fought against the British government, and within 6 days 450 people were killed by the British army, and the leaders surrendered, and many of them were killed in firing squad, and 4 of them are MacDonagh, McBride, Cannony, and Pierce. So the important line of these poems, all changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born. So what is the result of such kind of fighting against the British government? W.B. Yeats said that, yeah, the person who involved in the rebellious movement against the rebellious fighting against the British government, they are less in number, but they had a dream, they had a desire to get their country free from England, and their dream and their desire was as firm as stone. So the stone desire and the firm commitment and the firm wish of the British government, it was unchangeable. And W.B. Yeats has put some analogy, that is for summer and winter, everything, horse rider, and some things of the nature may change minute by minute, but the desire, but the confirmed attitude of getting independence of the Ireland people, such kind of desire, W.B. Yeats has compared with the stone desire, and their heart desire and their dream was unchanged. So the fighting result nothing, but the one thing is that their idea, that the Ireland people wanted independence from the British government or the British tyrannical rule. That is the attitude that was confirmed, and this idea of getting freedom is the situation, the nationalist idea that came up from this rebellious fighting, and this changes in attitude has been claimed after every stages of this poem. That is, all change utterly, a terrible beauty is born. That means a beauteous notion that the Ireland people want to get themselves free from the British government. That is the beauty, and that beauty has been claimed by W.B. Yeats. That is, a terrible beauty is born. So many people died. Many of them were killed in firing squad. But through the all changes, through the all massive changes, the one result came, that is, the Ireland people want independence, and the nationalistic uh, attitude, or Ireland's nationalistic attitude, and their idea of getting freedom from the British rule. This is the result, and that result that result has been claimed by W.B. Yeats, that it is a terrible beauty that was born for the uh, after the fighting uh, in the month of April. That is uh, in 1996. Okay, so this is the summary or analysis of the poem. So if you have any question, then we will take from you.